Okay, so today I'm going to talk about Hamlet, which is written by William Shakespeare. It's a play. It starts with a ghost on top of a castle in Denmark, spotted by some soldiers on watch. The soldiers realize that the ghost looks exactly like the late King Hamlet. They try to stop him and talk to him, but the ghost disappears. The current king is Claudius, who is Hamlet's brother, and he also married Hamlet's wife, Gertrude. And the King Hamlet, the dead one, and Gertrude had a son who was also named Hamlet. So this guy named Horatio, who is Hamlet's friend, brings him to the place they first saw the ghost of his father. When they got up there, they encountered the ghost, and he would only talk to Hamlet. They walked together, and King Hamlet tells his son of how his death really occurred. The story that was known was that he fell asleep in the orchard and a snake bit him, and he died. But in reality, it was his brother, Claudius. And when he was asleep in the orchard, he poured a vial of poison in his ear and killed him. And with this truth known, Prince Hamlet is enraged and ready for revenge for his father's death. The king also asks his son to keep his mother out of it. Months pass, and the prince has been acting quite strange, doing weird things, talking to himself, and just generally crazy. Claudius and Gertrude become concerned, and they hire Hamlet's friends, named Guildenstern and Rosencrantz, to spy on Hamlet, to talk to him and find out why he's acting this way, then to report back to him. The king's flunky, or his right-hand man, named Polonius, thinks Hamlet is mad out of love, not because of the death of his father. And Polonius has a daughter named Ophelia, and honestly, Hamlet loved her, really loved her. He sent her all kinds of love gifts and love notes, but Hamlet is royalty, and she isn't, so it's against the law for them to be together. So it drives him mad. And that's Polonius's idea of why Hamlet is acting that way. And then Hamlet rejects Ophelia when she returns his gifts and says that she should be sent to a nunnery to be alone. The king and queen and Polonius all hear him reject her. Then Hamlet puts on a play. Basically, he writes this play that is the truth about how his father died, and this is done so Claudius knows Hamlet knows the truth about how his father died. And this is done Hamlet knows the truth and that he's a murderer. It's Claudius. Claudius is a murderer. And now Claudius knows that Hamlet knows Claudius is a murderer. To make it even better, Claudius gets up, in the middle of the play, and runs out of the theater with no explanation. And the next day, Hamlet is being sent to England by the king because he's mad and crazy. But before he goes to England, he wants to talk to his mom and confront her about marrying Claudius so quickly. Polonius is hiding behind a tapestry, and Hamlet thinks it's the king, and now is his time to act. And he finally gets his revenge, stabs the tapestry, kills Polonius, and if you didn't catch it, this is the climax, the point of no return. And for his crime, he is sent to England immediately. Like the same night, they're put on a boat. With Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, so all three of them. And the king had sent an order for just Hamlet to be killed as soon as they reach England. So Hamlet's in England, aka gone. So Polonius was killed, and his daughter Ophelia goes mad with grief and loses her entire mind. She's singing nonsense, and she goes into the river and falls in, and the weight of her dress drowns her. She's dead. Polonius had another child, and his name was Laertes, and he stays in France. And when he gets the news, he comes back to Denmark very, very mad, ready to kill anyone. And Claudius talks Laertes down a bit and manages to blame the whole thing on Hamlet and manipulates him into killing Hamlet. Oh, and we also find out that Hamlet isn't dead. Their ship got stopped by pirates, and they were nice to him, and he asked them to bring them back to Denmark, and they did. And we only find this out by a letter that Hamlet sent Horatio. And so now Hamlet's back in Denmark, and the king and Laertes have a plan to kill him in a fencing match. And in the end, everybody's dead except Horatio. And in his dying breath, Hamlet begs Horatio to stay alive and tell his story, because he was the only one who knew the whole truth. And that's the summary of Hamlet.